A former runner-up, Penny Noble against Shelley Zich. Alberta against Saskatchewan in this second prelim, and Noble taking the first $50 as Zich comes back after a 5 count to pull a strike here in 2.
Much better shot on that one from Shelley. Might have been the wake-up call she needed. Just toss the frame away on the first one and then see if we can bounce back and run a string of them together.
And she'll match it, Penny Noble.
Great shot. She comes into this one, stays down low, has the arm swing come up, and gets the desired result at the far end. Try to replicate it once more. Her first miss of the match. And again, get out the old work ethic here.
Penny in her third appearance has won $4,500.
Oops.
Yeah. So now looking to get her 15 count here in the third. Playing for $100.
Okay, there's the 15. She's just got to sit back and hope that it's enough. Shelley now up on the lane that caused her the grief in the first frame. Would like to just bury this ball right in the pocket. Get a little confidence going.
Wow.
Judge of play is calling that down, so that is a strike. It did go in time. Judge of play Jim Head had an eye on that one, and as he watched the pin move over, it was moving beyond its axis on the vertical. You can watch this as it trails its way in, and you'll see it start to lean in just a second. There it goes. It's leaning. It's not solidly on its base. It's called a down pin. Good call by Jim.
So the 2 frames and $100 to Shelley Zich.
This is a big spare coming up now. She's got Penny down 2 frames to 1. And does manage to cover that.
Well, after that 5 count in the first, Shelley has had a couple of strikes and a nice spare now. Now it's up to Penny. Penny Noble with a chance to win the frame and the $50, tie it up if she can strike here.
Good reach on that one.
Yep, and the result is a strike and the $50. It's obvious, isn't it? I mean, it's too simple to say, but you can see it out of their hand.
Very steady at the end of the shot. The shoulders are square to the foul line. The extension, the lift, and as much as anything else, the look as the ball got released. Almost coaxes that one over. Good spare shooter. She's very consistent on these, day in and day out.
What's the key to be a good spare shooter?
Really consistent follow through and looking at your spot. And just really focus on that. You don't have to do anything fancy on this. Picking up his spare, you can hit it anywhere, so effectively you've got a target, 8 inches wide or so that you can shoot at. It doesn't matter if you punch a corner pin out. It's not like hitting the pocket, for example. So if you just focus in on the target and the follow-through, you can usually execute it time and time and time again.
Shelley Zich now needs this to force a carryover. Well, the whole Zich family is here. Her husband, Tim, Morgan, Carmen, Carter. And they just saw Mom get the spare that she needed to force a carryover, and we'll play for $100 in the 6th.
Okay, Shelley's only hit the center twice on her first ball. That back in 2 and 3 when she got strikes. Not with that one either. Doesn't look comfortable out there at all. Maybe a little quick on the approach, perhaps.
So you have to tell yourself to do what? Certainly you want to slow down, settle down. How do you do that? Just step away from the line a bit?
A lot of times it's a matter of the speed that you're getting to the line where you normally deliver the ball. And if your feet get a little fast, all of a sudden your arm swing tends to lag behind. The ball gets dropped, behind you a little bit. Consistency suffers, obviously. Same if your feet get a little slow and all of a sudden you're yanking shots to the left or right trying to get your arm swing through in time to pick it up. You get into areas that just you need to go back to some basic little key like we talked before. Maybe you got a little song that you sing or whatever that gets your timing back in.
Great opportunity here for Penny Noble. She needs a 7 count. Now I wonder sometimes too when if you're Penny Noble in a position like this, you see your opposition, your opponent put up a 6 spot, and that sort of takes your edge off.
It does. It's water kind of seeking its own level, so to speak, that, man, I don't have to just hammer a strike here. And they're very good at responding to strikes back and forth and so on.
Now she's got the frame, the 2 frames actually, in the $100.
But the thing here right now is that neither bowler being very sharp. If somebody breaks loose quickly, you may not be able to respond in time.
Sure. She gets the 15 count. We welcome Liz Noble from Medicine Hat, Alberta. Been to Medicine Hat. Done curling events, Medicine Hat.
Better shot.
Very nice.
This one goes in nicely. Hits a fraction full, but manages to get that last little bit of carry and push over the right corner. And watches it go down. And now Shelley must come back with one of her own and doesn't.
So another frame, another $50 to Penny Noble. And she now sits at 250. Pin count is pretty even.
And Shelley can keep it that way if she can throw the spare here. If she misses the spare, she's going to be in a little trouble. And off the mark with that one as well. That's a better one.
So she gets her 15 count for a 129 total, but Penny has a strike up in 7.
And the 5 frames in her pocket already.
Yes.
So no tomorrow for Shelley now.
No.
She's really got to throw a strike here and in 9.
Give herself a chance. No, she hasn't, except for, I guess, 2 and 3 when she got the strikes. Has she been around the head pin very much?
No, she's missed all the way along except for the corner pin back in the 7th. But she just looks like she's a little off balance at the end, trying to direct the ball rather than letting it go. And that's a big part of it. You have to trust that ball's going to go where you're looking at. If you start fiddling with it and trying to direct it and make
Force it in somewhere, yeah.
be too perfect with it, it just makes it all the more difficult.
Not her day, it would seem, Shelley Zich, as she puts a 12 on the board.
We'll see now if Penny can close this out. Trying to throw one good shot here. Stay down, arm comes up nicely, that's a good ball.
Back to back, another frame, another $50 for Penny Noble. And she will advance to play Ashley Graham in the quarterfinals to determine our fourth semifinalist.
So she knows she's moving on now. What she's got a key on here is keeping that intensity, trying to get that feeling for the strike shot. She's had 4 of them this game. There's a 5th. Looking a little more solid now. 165 through 7, double working. Shelley now must throw a strike, or she'll lose the 9th frame. Good time for that one.
So we'll carry over, go to the 10th and play for the final $100.
Just off the target again.
That's, I mean, it's from my eye, it's noticeable certainly when she doesn't get the extension, when she releases it almost at her ankle. It's very low.
And that's what I mean about the feet getting there quickly. All of a sudden her body's a little ahead of her arm swing and it's going to lag behind just a fraction. There's the spare though. Opportunity now for the strike and the 30 count and 10. But 20 will be the result. 191 her final score.
Unfortunately for the Zich family, Mom won't advance.
That's okay, Mom.
Shelley averaging 230 in her league play in Esterhazy.
Penny with a 5 count on the first ball. Needs to score better than 20 to pick up these last 2 frames. And will not do that, so the $100 over to Shelley Zich.
So she'll take $200 back to Saskatchewan, but it will be Penny Noble that advances, winning $300.
And a 238 game.
And that's below the average that we have seen. Remember Ashley Graham bowled at 265, 270. Penny Noble advancing, winning $300, and now she'll get ready to play Ashley Graham from Prince Edward Island, and one of those 2 ladies will be our 4th semifinalist.